Kevin Pereira. It's good to see you.
And I'm Candace Bailey.
Yes. Yes, you are.
We're coming to you live from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles.
Ginormous show today, my friends. In fact, on the old program, comedian Patton Oswalt will be here live in studio to explain the title of his new book, Zombie Spaceship Wasteland, and his controversial Wired article about the end of geek culture.
It might be wild, too.
Controversial. It is wild and Wired. Then Weston Scott and Allison Hayslip head to the Flight Deck Air Combat Center to engage in a dogfight. This is, just to clarify right now, it's the Top Gun kind, not the Michael Vick kind. Just saying. Still worth watching.
Plus, we kick off Super Cheap TV Week on Gadget Prime. Yay! We'll review 3 big cheap TVs, starting with a 50-inch plasma from Samsung for only $600.
Only 600?
Only! And we'll check out Adidas inspired by the AT-ATs from Empire Strikes Back on Sneakerhead.
Yeah.
Because your feet are more exciting when they're crushing rebels.
Yes, and between all that fun sanity, we will be updating you on the unfolding drama in Egypt. As of right now, the internet is down. Their cell phones could be next. It's pretty serious, but let's have some brevity before we'll get to the loop in a minute.
Time now to open a surprise present from the internet.
I hope it's not socks. Just, oh, suck.
We're going around the
You know, as the old saying goes, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
So when you're going through your friend selection process, make sure you pick a guy who knows how to properly toss you for a backflip. That's just so painful to watch.
Like for some, I've been doing this program for far too long to have hope that a clip is going to end well for somebody in it. And every time I see something like that,
It's
well,
just
maybe it won't be so.
painful.
Oh no, that was bad. Yeah, he doesn't remember it though. Don't worry, it's all right. Do you want to come on? Let's try it. You trust me, right?
Hell no.
You sure you don't want to make some TV gold?
No, I'm sorry, guys. Not gonna happen.
They're all cheering. We'll pay the medical bills. Fine. We'll stitch you right up. We'll get you a cone and everything. A sexy cone. So you don't bite the stitches.
A cone.
That kind of friend-assisted facial reconstruction is still cheaper than the more dignified version, which is competing on bridalplasty. If you haven't seen it.
I love bridalplasty.
You know, it's on 18 to 34-year-old male TiVos across the country.
I watch it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Why? Just to feel better about yourself,
no,
or what?
No, it's because it looked so bad that I had to watch it.
That's what our billboards were going to say, actually.
It looked so bad.
Tune in for the train wreck.
No, but I watched all through the season, and then I forgot to record last night's episode.
What a travesty!
Which was the finale. What was
With
I
all that's
doing?
going on in
What
the
was I
world,
doing?
to miss the finale of Bridalplasty.
I know. I'm a little sad, but I think I can catch it.
You'll get it.
If your band is playing Whitney Houston covers in a local casino, chances are you've still got a long way to go on that road to stardom.
Yeah, but as today's number 4 shows us, sometimes when you're belting out those famous 80s dance anthems, and who doesn't, guys, you can still inspire your audience to get up and get out of their chairs. That's a good thing.
Even though that might not always be a good thing.
Oh, it might not be?
No.
Was she too hot?
Dance move.
Was she too hot there when he was getting in?
This is the heat. I want to feel the heat.
I don't want
Well,
to
at
feel...
least those crazy people found each other.
Yeah. Where all great love affairs begin, actually, on a sticky dance floor in an extremely grimy casino.
Not for me.
Where they should begin. Sometimes they start on the sidewalk and you call later and they begin, but yeah. Way back in 1994, not everybody knew what the internet was, believe it or not.
But especially the hosts of the Today Show. They really didn't know what the internet was. And they weren't afraid to fumble the topic for a few minutes on live TV.
That little mark with the A and then the ring around it, See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh.
See, there it is. Violence at NBC, GE.com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know.
what
do you
is
think of that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
Made up of, started from,
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what this was.
It's like
You
a
look at the
computer
dictionary.
billboard.
it's not a, it's a computer billboard, but it's
Right.
nationwide. It's several universities and everything all joined together.
Right,
And others can access it.
right.
And it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
You don't need a phone line to operate the internet? No, apparently not.
Can you explain what this is?
Will you explain what the internet is?
It's not even an actual at symbol.
That was the one intern on a skateboard with an extreme yo-yo. All right, so the internet is a cool thing. Like, they had to go to the youth to explain this new paradigm.
You know, it's ironic because their ignorance is preserved in amber for future generations to laugh at, thanks to the very thing that they couldn't comprehend.
Yeah. Plus, side note, how did anyone masturbate before the internet? Really? I mean, did it just not happen?
Wait, that's
You know
what
what
you're
I mean?
taking from this?
That's what I take away from everything, yeah. Tweet us your answers to @AOTS. I'll read them. I don't know if I printed them out to eat them. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Delicious.
And at number 2 today, one of the greatest uses of After Effects we've seen.
So there's this enterprising YouTuber who decided to turn faith healer Benny Hinn into a Sith Lord.
It's like,
You know what? I gotta tell you, the After Effects really made that look ridiculous.
and you thought worshippers smelled bad on the outside.
Oh! That was a tauntaun joke. Tauntaun joke. Save your emails. Still ahead, the best thing you'll see all day long. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
A purple car and some other stuff coming up in our number 1 around the net.
What other stuff? Oh, okay. I'll tune in. Excited, but let's get serious for a moment, because what I'm about to say is incredibly serious for Tag of the Show. Today's number 1, the clear front runner for Video of the Year. Whoa! Check your calendars. It's only January, kids. Only January.
If the Tom and Dan podcast is half as good as this ad, then it's going to be amazing.
Brought a tear to my eye. I'm sorry. Guys, I forgot I'm actually, I'm late for band practice.
Wait, I didn't know you were in a band, Kevin.
Well, it's a band/sex cult. I wouldn't be too, just don't worry about it.
When I think of dangerous and exciting jobs, a military fighter pilot is right there at the very top.
Yeah, anyone who's seen Top Gun dreams of flying at Mach 2, blowing their enemy out of the sky in an all-out dogfight to the death.
Here at Flight Deck Air Combat Center, we're going to do exactly that tonight.
Yeah, we are. Located in Anaheim, California, Flight Deck Air Combat Center is one of the nation's largest and most realistic F-16 flight simulators. You want to learn how to dogfight? This is the place.
You guys have spared no expense on making this realistic.
Oh yeah, definitely. We try to make it as realistic as possible. Our F-16s are pretty much set up to be just like an F-16 in a combat situation. It's left-hand throttle, right-hand control stick, just like the 16. They are as realistic as the military will let us get it.
Is this just for fun, or can we do some actual training?
We do a little bit of training, nothing FAA certified or anything like that. It's just for fun, but mainly we like to do air-to-air combat, so that's pretty much what we'll be training you guys mostly today.
So we're obviously here in the control room. We've got tons of awesome screens around us. How does this thing actually work? What's running all this?
Basically, this is a live feed of what the pilots are seeing from in here. So this is where we hang out and monitor the entire flight.
Is there any tips you can give us on the air-to-air combat?
Just biggest tip I can give you is be aggressive. Fighter pilots are very aggressive.
No problem there.
You got to pretty much react before you think.
Magnet, what's next?
Well, next, guys, we're going to get you suited into a flight suit, and we're going to get you some training.
Allison, they gave me your flight suit.
I don't think so.
Today, we're going to go over how to fly the F-16. And basically, going to give you pilots a bit of a crash course here. There's no pun intended on that. It's going to be a crash course. Most fighter pilots get at least 2.5 to 3 years of training before they can get to step foot in a fighter. You guys get about 20 to 30 minutes here. So over here on the left-hand side, this control will be your throttle. This guy's going to control all the speed of your aircraft. Right-hand control stick, this guy will be all the maneuverability about your aircraft. Basically, it's going to control all the roll, up, down, that sort of thing. All right, pilots, we're going to go ahead and assign some call signs. So, Allison, we're going to be Slipstream, Wes,
Panda. And
we'll talk about it later, guys. We'll get you out there into the cockpit. Go ahead and suit.
why am I Panda?
Nice job. Thanks. Good luck, Panda.
Okay, Slipstream. We'll see you up there.
Roger that.
Oh boy.
Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. I'm making to my right.
There you go, 5. There's your target.
I got gunfire on me.
There you go. And 5. That's a good track. 304 missile down. And 305. That was a good kill. 304 going down.
Alright, I'm back in the game.
Right now, to be honest with you, all I care about is finding a stream or slam stream or whatever her call sign is. I just want her to go down.
All right.
There's my guy.
Yeah, there you go. 5. Nice maneuver. There goes another missile. And 305 going down. That's 304 taking you out.
Got him.
Good kill. Look over your right. That's 305 spinning out of control.
Going down. Nice fire explosion. Courtesy of Slipstream.
You're number one. You're number one. You're the best.
Nice job, pilots. Well, after going over our stats here, guys, it turns out that Slipstream, you are our ace of the day. You are our winner.
Yes! Take that, Panda!
The fact was, I was playing as a teammate. I was watching your back, and I was taking out Mick.
Honey, we were on opposite teams. If you want to have as much fun as we did, come on down to Flight Deck Air Combat. Magnet will show you around here a bit. You're not going to be as good as me, though, baby. Slipstream, baby!
Better watch out for that ego stream.
That was kind of fun.
Those are kind of fun. We should do it.
I'd demolish you. Wouldn't be fair.
In your dreams.
I played Simcopter for like a year.
Let's check out that Twitter board.
Let's do that. Hey, Twitter wall board thing. You want to read one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Misto Lee. Is it bad that I actually say ATN along with the show?
No, send us a video of that, actually. We'll cut you in. I mean, seriously, if any of you at home chant ATN or number one, or if
Show
you just yell randomly at your TV set, send us video of that. We'll use it. Why not?
I think that sounds
Okay,
like a great
tweet it to
idea.
@AOTS. Done. So say we all. Stephen Lustafin says AOTS is the only show that still collects Pogs, Pokemon, and Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know if that is like some garage sale knockoff version of Magic, but Cool, yeah, we'll collect that too. We're into that. You ever played Magic?
No.
Oh, it's on. Get a nerd. I'm gonna tap you like some mana. And that island goes sideways. It's fine. Let's move it on.
If you want to be a part of the show and end up on our Twitter wall, tweet us at AOTS or use the hashtag AOTS.
Hey!
Still ahead, we kick off Super Cheap TV Week with 50 inches of plasma for $600.
And later, comedian and Lord of the Geeks, Patton Oswalt, will be here live in studio. I might hit on him. Folks, there's a revolution taking place, and you know about it because the government hasn't shut off your internet access. At least not yet.
One of the most important stories unfolding anywhere right now is the spreading revolution in the Arab world. Egypt's pro-Western President Mubarak has ruled for more than 30 years in a country plagued by high unemployment and growing unrest over Mubarak's politically corrupt regime. Egypt is unusual in the Arab world in that until recently, most citizens had access to both uncensored internet and satellite television. Egyptians used this free flow of information to organize nationwide protests against the government on sites like Facebook and Twitter. The Egyptian government cut off almost all access to the internet late last week, including mobile phone service, text messaging, and most social media. Though coverage of this protest may cause this to change. And while some service is slowly being restored, Egyptians are still gathering in the streets to protest the government's crackdown on free speech. Governments around the world are now on notice. The internet can spark revolution. What's next for Egypt? And what does this mean for the future of the internet here in the US? It's the Twitter revolution in the loop.
Joining me now from Cambridge, Massachusetts to help us make sense of it all, Anis Katesh, editor for Global Voices Online. Welcome to The Loop.
Thank you very much.
Now, Anis, people are already calling this the Facebook revolution or the Twitter revolution. Whenever we see footage of it, it's not people clicking a mouse or a like button behind their computer. It's people taking to the streets. That's what inspires people and gets them going. So how important of a role did these two websites actually play?
Yes, absolutely. First, I just have to say that I don't think it's fair to call it Twitter or Facebook revolution. Those social networking tools have definitely played an important role in spreading out the information, and especially in the first days before the internet was shut off. The protest for the first day, there was an event on Facebook that got up to 90,000 responders. So it definitely played a role in organizing people and spreading information. And during the protest, people were able to send live updates, alerting each other for riot police. They were able also to live stream video of the protests from their phones. So it definitely played, in the early days of the revolution, played a huge role in spreading information and organization. But as we can see, like even after the internet was shut off, the numbers of people in the streets continued to grow, and they refused to go home.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the reaction of those on the outside looking in who went, wait a minute, they shut off the internet? No Farmville? All right, we're getting to the streets. Now we have a reason to get out there. And it was interesting to see the incredible reaction that the disabling of access to information had, and the gut reaction that it brought about on Twitter and Facebook. But now Internet Monitor Renesas is reporting that the internet, as of right now, is completely shut off in Egypt. Their last ISP just went down a few hours ago. There's also reports that cell phone service might be disabled. You talked about in the early moments how important it was to actually organize. I know tomorrow we're on the eve now of this big million-man march through Cairo, which should be the biggest protest yet. Without access to that information, do you see it being a huge detriment to the protest itself?
I don't think so, especially because there are still, up to today, there was a few people who still had access. There are still other ways of spreading around the information. The landline phones were still active. Cell phones were active despite text messaging was blocked. So there was still definitely methods of spreading around the information. I think taking down all communications aims at turning Egypt into basically an information black hole, to make it easier to cover up whatever abuses and violence that protesters might face tomorrow.
Do you suspect that, again, for those on the outside that are trying to watch this and trying to monitor this and get accurate and honest information, will this put a damper on our ability to follow what's happening?
Oh, absolutely. The Egyptian regime has spared no effort into blocking any sort of information from getting out of the country, basically. They've cut off all communication, and they've been harassing news crews from different news networks.
Mm-hmm. Now, Anis, here in the U.S., there's been this call for the internet kill switch, if you will. Legislation has been proposed that would give the president or conceivably anybody in power the ability to flip a switch and the internet dies as we know it in the U.S. And you would think that with these events happening, that would raise awareness here and people would say, well, obviously this could be a terribly, terribly harmful tool, and yet the discussion continues. Do you think we should have a kill switch here in the States, and do you think we will see one?
I don't know whether we will see one. I definitely hope not. It's a really bad idea, and I can't think of a scenario where cutting off all forms of communication would be a good idea. People have the right to carry guns in the Constitution. I think the right to broadband internet should also be there at one point.
Yeah, I agree. I think information is equally as deadly as a gun in many situations. But let's say, hypothetically, this kill switch does come about. I've had chats with many friends. They've been concerned, but they've all said, don't worry, we'll get around it. Are you as optimistic?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are currently methods of relaying information and data without relying on a central network. There is being a project is being developed called mesh networking. It works on cell phones, whether Android, iOS, or Windows phones. They're able to communicate within each other without relying on infrastructure. So there are technologies that would basically make it virtually impossible to block all forms of communication.
Interesting. Well, I hope the day comes where we don't have to see it, but I'm sure we've all learned that smoke signals or carrier pigeons, revolution will happen regardless. Anish Katesh from Global Voices Online, thank you for joining us. Thank you for keeping us in the loop.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to the campus.
If you're running around barefoot all the time, you're either too poor to be watching us on a TV right now, or you're a dirty, dirty hippie. Time to gear up your... Thanks for one laugh. Time to gear up your feet with the stylish kicks from Sneakerheads.
Sneakers can be art, and why not? For example, take Globe's Mace High Skate Shoe. Designed for street skating functionality, the matching aesthetic is appropriately urban-themed. The leather upper is splashed with paint and original graffiti from Australian artist and sneaker aficionado Secure D. He's collaborated with Globe before and has been featured in numerous sneaker publications. These skate boots feature his signature on the tongue and heel and come in 4 colorways exclusive to Journeys. Look for the lime green version to hit shelves in February, where you can pick up a pair for only $70. Speaking of art and shoes, New York-based artist Ryan McGinnis usually puts his work in museums, but will now also be putting his product in shoe boxes. He recently worked with Reebok on a 3-sneaker series for their Affiliate collection. Besides just looking hot, each pair has a story behind the design. The first set, the CMYK, will drop in February. Ryan incorporated the printing color scheme of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. He also put zippers in the tongues to allow for some easy, after-the-workday slip-off action. In April, you can kick back and enjoy the outdoors with the relaxed sneaker. The brown canvas upper with bright blue and green highlights represent the dirt, water, and plants you experience in nature. And finally, you can walk to the front of the line at the club, styling in the VIPs. Ryan's philosophy is that everyone is a very important person, and that's why each pair features a velvet rope embroidered on the heel and a special VIP card and a slit on the tongue. You can look for this last pair to be released in June. Our last high top comes from the artistic line of the tri-leaf brand Adidas Originals. Let the force flow through your foot wardrobe with these kick-ass AT-AT high tops. One of the coolest scenes from The Empire Strikes Back is the assault on the Hoth Rebel base by the all-terrain armored transports. Now you can take one of the best vehicles from the Star Wars franchise with you wherever you go. The Eldorado sneaker design has light gray leather coloring and the helmet of an AT-AT driver sewn onto the tongue. You can find these transports for $140 at select Adidas Originals retailers. Just don't let anyone tie your shoelaces together, because we know what happens. Sneakerhead or not, you'll want to get your hands on any pair of these high art high tops. Plus, chicks dig new shoes.
All righty, let's Let's check in with the old Twitter. Magic Condor says, why have you not broken the world record for the largest bikini mass symphony? I'll ignore the rest of that.
A banana hammock is fine,
Yeah, we got it. I think the Craigslist post alone would have us banned from the internet. Like, wanted hundreds of hot chicks to wear masks and bikinis. Last time I posted it, it got
I think
deleted.
it would be kind of fun, though.
Would you lead that orchestra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, okay, I didn't say
Done.
that.
Yeah, no, you did just say it. We can roll it back, but I'd rather not. With that fantastically worded tweet, you've just won yourself a pair of these Globe skate shoes, exclusively from Journeys. Journey in them. Okay.
You know, the economy sucks.
Yep.
But that's why today kicks off Gadget Prime's Super Cheap TV Week.
Hooray! Now you can actually get 50 inches of plasma without selling your plasma. Behold.
Here's our first TV of the week, the Samsung 430 series 50-inch plasma TV. Now, the inputs are on the back, so it won't be very easy to wall mount it. It only has 2 HDMI inputs. It's pretty thin for a plasma, at only 2.7 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of the overall design?
Looks like a TV to me. I'm bummed.
think?
I'm bummed about the lack of side inputs. Again, they only give you the USB
Yeah.
on the side, and if you wanted to wall mount this, you'd have to get a special bracket or
Yeah.
attachment to really make that happen. The screen is actually glossy, so you'll have a lot of reflections if you're watching in a well-lit room. So keep that in mind.
Okay, since this is a cheap TV, there aren't too many extra features, so you're not going to get internet apps or anything like that. But you do get the fast motion technology.
And that works kind of okay-ish. So cool. It's got a 600 hertz refresh rate, and that's supposed to make fast-moving images easier to see by showing each frame of the movie up to 600 times a second. So this means you should see everything much clearer than a normal television set, which, again, only shows each frame about 60 times a second. So here's the deal. Action sequences, they looked a little bit better than normal when we weren't focused on the glaring objects in the room. But it wasn't enough to make this, to make us sit up and take notice and tweet about it angrily.
Okay.
Or excitedly, I guess.
How did the overall picture look?
Pretty good. The 2,000,000:1 dynamic contrast ratio means that blacks look deep, colors are extremely vivid. However, when you turn the contrast all the way up, colors begin overexposing, and you will notice some digital noise in the video. I noticed it right away, pretty much in all scenes, not even the dark ones. It is only 720p, so you have to keep that in mind. Yeah. It's a little nitpicky because overall we did enjoy watching it, but you will see it.
But it's not bad. I mean, it's only $600 at Target.com.
Yeah, it's not that
What are we
bad.
rating it?
Well, here's the thing. At that price, 3 out of 5.
Yay!
This is by no means a bad TV. It won't disappoint you at that price, but we think you'll be able to do better this week, though. Spoiler. Seriously, we're showing other TVs this week. That's all. So you might just want to wait.
2 more.
Yeah. That's it for Gadgetron.
This February, the best parkour teams from across the country will come together for the definitive parkour competition in Jump City, Seattle.
It's Man versus Gravity. I know how that one ends. And an all-new competition. The new series premieres February 15th.
Check out g4tv.com/jumpcity for team bios, photos, and much more.
Okay, I will.
You should.
I'll do it right now.
Stay tuned. Patton Oswalt will be here live in the studio with his new book, Zombie Spaceship Wasteland.
What happens next?
Here's a guy looking to clear a rail. So what happens next? Does he trip and faceplant? Does he hit the rail and flip over it? Or does he hit the rail and it breaks? Find out when we return.
Fail. You're dead. Major fail. Fail. Fail, 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 fail. You lose.
What happens next?
Here's a guy looking to clear a rail. So what happens next? Does he trip and faceplant? Does he hit the rail and flip over it? Or does he hit the rail and it breaks? Look, I'll be honest, that actually looked kind of fun.
The great wizard of comedy has returned, and he's brought with him a mystical tome called Zombie Spaceship Wasteland. Yes, Patton, it's you. Patton Oswalt, everybody!
Hi. Good to see you, man. Thanks, man.
Welcome to the new digs.
I
I know. I love this.
We've upgraded in your honor.
I was doing knee bends in my green room because I thought I'd be at a podium out here, and now this is like this nice square beige marshmallow. These chairs are really comfy.
You could get lost in there.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah. Is that part of a normal interview warm-up for you? Is it a couple knee bends? Do you Windsor Pilates?
If I see two young fit people, you and Candace, and I'm back there, I got my snowman tour, so I'm like, well, maybe I better make sure my knees don't turn to powder.
So in Body Glass, there's Hourglass, Apple, Pear, and Snowman is how you describe it?
Yeah, I call it August Snowman, where it's all starting to kind of puddle. It's puddle down here.
Nice.
Exactly.
By the way, read the book. Hilarious, as advertised.
Did you really?
Hilarious.
All right, page 93. What is the fourth word of the second sentence? Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, you got it.
I got really good at that from piracy protection back in the late 80s.
Okay,
You'd have to memorize whole manuals to copy games. Now, you've been wanting to write a book since, what, like high school?
Yeah, in high school, I had it in my head that I was going to become an author. I was a big Stephen King fan, Harlan Ellison, all those guys. And so I actually, in high school, I wrote, and I talk about this very briefly in the book. I wrote 2 horrible science fiction novels that I never even thought of. Like, in my head, I'm like, I'll just send this off to a publisher and they'll publish these.
Well, of course, yeah.
They were terrible. They were so bad. And then I got into stand-up, and then I realized, I've only got to write 11 words and I can get a response. This is so much easier.
Exactly.
So I went down that road for a long time and then started doing a lot of blogging and magazine writing, and then that just kind of led right back into someone going, do you want to do a book? And I said, yeah, sure.
Well, it seems that that blogs and Twitter have sort of opened up that world for you in a major way, but it also seems like you hate the internet.
I have I was thinking about that. I was talking to your producer about that. It's not that, what's really weird? I hate the internet the way that an addict hates drugs. Like when they, in other words, like let's say like a heroin addict is like, man, heroin is just, you don't even want to mess with it. No. Heroin itself is just heroin. You hate what it does to you.
Right.
Heroin has done some great things for people, just like the internet has done great. But the internet has done nothing but bad things for me. It leads me down these weird.
Do you go into like weird cyber cafes and back alleys to shoot up and play some Bejeweled, or what do you?
Today I left my house 5 minutes too late, and it was one of the reasons I got here a little late because I went and looked up The Pursuit of Happiness's lyrics to their song "I'm an Adult Now" for no reason, and I replayed like 4, and I talk about this in the book, and I did it again today.
Every book ends with, by the way, I would have accomplished this in an hour, but I Facebooked people that I hated and played some rounds of Minesweeper.
Yes, I'll technorati myself, or I'll check a Facebook page for someone that I can't stand. I remember.
Technorati yourself? Why are you technoratiing yourself?
Because I'm a narcissist. I want to see if anyone is talking about me in blogs. And by the way, if I put my name in Technorati and I get a bunch of hits back, and I'll get like 4, I will keep looking until I get someone saying Oswald sucks, and I go, all right, good.
We've reached the end. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Like I have to keep this weird self-loathing going. It's so sad.
I'm jealous that you have to go through pages to get to that. I suggest that I suck before I hit search.
Oh, you already you write your name plus suck.
Kevin Perrin, totes gay, sucks. All right, I get it. Thanks, internet.
That would save me so much time.
Really good.
I felt really bad about my addictions with the internet until I read an interview with Trent Reznor, who said I would have put out 10 more Nine Inch Nails albums if it hadn't been for the video game Quake. So I didn't feel as bad anymore.
To be fair, I mean, he did the sound effects for it, so maybe there was a research thing.
I think that's how he extricated himself. Like, maybe if I sit in these game designers' offices and watch them eat Domino's Pizza for breakfast, I'll go, this is probably a bad thing to be doing.
The soundtrack was basically taping a microphone to an oscillating fan with some screams in the background, so I'm assuming it didn't take him 10 years to make it. But,
exactly.
The Etowaf, which sounds like Navi for but Etowaf is
I like that.
Everything that ever was available forever. Yeah, for the Avatar freaks out there.
Yeah.
Everything that ever was available forever. This is your, you believe this is where we're heading as a society, as an internet-connected people?
That's my acronym for, what is going to happen, and it is happening, is that anything that you can remember vaguely seeing as a kid or hearing is now just going to be uploadable on the internet. And then pretty soon, it's just going to be... I think the internet is going to become just a haze above our heads, and we will have whatever device, and you just kind of reach it up into the haze and yank down whatever you want.
Right.
Any book, any
Right.
movie, anything.
I think it'll be beamed directly into our heads, whether we like it or not. It's going to be herbal Viagra, and then sports scores. Just beamed in as you walk down the
Yeah,
street.
and then people are going to argue about what delivery system they have. Like, oh, I have the silver band. Oh, I have head mesh.
Right.
What are you doing, man?
Oh,
Like,
my nose is bleeding. That's a lot of gigabits. Very Johnny Mnemonic.
The new head mesh 3.0 sucks, man. I gotta get... And then there'll be the one that like the old people use. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you have Air Crown. That's for grandparents. You gotta get on head mesh.
You need a view of the northern sky for that. That's the HughesNet of mind meld.
Yeah, we'll just add
Satellite
apps
internet
to
fan out there.
our head. So yeah.
But do you think that that's a bad thing though? Because I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have everything instantly available at any time like that.
You know what? In a way, I am too. Only because I think it'll shake out. It's the same thing with when stand-up comedy, when it became everywhere and then it kind of imploded and just the good people stayed doing it.
The Dane Cooks. I wanted something to pop up on Technorati tonight for you. If you want to follow up to that, you're welcome to.
If I had his abs, I wouldn't be here right now. That's all I'm saying. But
you think it'll shake out?
I think what it'll do is it'll just shake out the lame parts of reality, and people will just go for the really like the movies, the books, the music that are truly classic will stay, and other stuff will just kind of fall away.
Right.
So, like, the movie Jaws, I think, is going to end up like a Shakespeare play. It'll always be the way it is. No one would ever dare remake it. It's perfect. And then something like the movie version of V for Vendetta it'll be forgotten just because it's right there.
Right.
It'll be forgotten in plain sight, if that makes sense. But the comic pages will still be there.
I think. Well, so does that mean that anything that's created from henceforth, if you will never have that classic status as Jaws? Because Piranha 3D should be Jaws, in my opinion. But I don't think it'll go down in the pantheon of movie films as being that.
No. But what I'm saying is that when the new classics come along, they're going to have to really jump some hurdles to become a new classic, and that is what's going to make them the truly great. In the future will be mind-blowing when it is great.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the minds will literally explode because of the silver band net, where it's being beamed directly into your brain.
Yeah, exactly. If you blow up too many bytes onto your head mesh, then it'll implode your skull.
Too much Bieber, boom, your gutty works are coming out of your ears.
Hey, man, what's wrong with Trey? He Biebered out, man. I told him, download it one song at a time. He'd say, no, I want the album. I want the digital booklet.
You can't.
I got all it. Just
no one wants the digital booklet.
I know.
Can we stop that too?
I
And it's
always
not a
delete
booklet.
the digital booklet.
It's a PDF.
It's just I hate those digital.
You want to go to
booklets.
Cupertino and strangle Steve Jobs?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, done. Patton Oswalt, such a pleasure to chat with you, sir. Legitimately, the book is hilarious. Zombie Spaceship Wasteland. Read it, figure out what you are, because it's out now.
Thank you.
Now we go back to Candace.
Stick around. More Attack of the Show is coming up next.
That was such a pleasure.
Apple's OS X App Store just opened its doors, and there's already plenty to choose from. So here are some apps to get you started. First, let's make your Mac more efficient with Alfred. This application launcher allows you to assign a universal hotkey that lets you open any application with as little as 4 keystrokes. Want to call up Photoshop? Option, space, P, enter, and you're done. Now how about some music? If you listen to music online, you probably already use SoundCloud. So why not bring it to your desktop? The SoundCloud app feels more like iTunes and makes it easier to search, bookmark, and download anything from their massive catalog. Consider the music of the cloud as good as yours. Finally, the official Twitter app is okay, but a great alternative is Etsy. Etsy has a more customizable, minimalist interface and a robust set of features. It boasts inline image integration, so all those twit pics will show up inside your timeline. And with a low demand for memory, you won't find yourself opening up a browser for Twitter ever again. The best part of all these apps, unlike the majority of the App Store's offerings, they won't cost you a dime. Coming up on the next Attack of the Show, actor Mark Valley from Human Target swings into the studio live, hopefully to not assassinate me. Then Tiffany Smith heads to Metropolis 2, a giant sculpture filled with 1,080 custom-manufactured die-cast cars. And on DV Tuesday, Chris Gore drops by to review vampire thriller Let Me In and hardcore horror flick Hatchet 2. See it on the next AOTS.
It's time to watch TV and win prizes. is.
Who said sitting passively on your couch wouldn't pay off, huh? The irony is that that was an epic fail. It's time for the epic giveaway, folks. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, on Friday, we gave away a 64-gig iPod Touch with $100 worth of jukebox plays courtesy of Touch Tunes.
And the winner is Victor L. of Brooklyn, New York.
Hey!
My best friend lives in Brooklyn. Yay!
What up, Brooktown?
And today, one winner will receive 4 fine art marble statues from the Kotobukiya collection.
Yes. Oh, there's the other ones. Thor and Captain America are completely sold out. Psylocke and Wolverine are from Kotobukiya's brand new series, Danger Room Sessions. And these guys, oh, they light up. Yeah. Holographic style bases. Their hands signed by sculptor Eric Sosa. So there's that.
Plus, you get 1 plastic phone from our old set.
Yeah, you gotta love that. You really gotta love that. That's just it. That's icing on this cake.
Hello.
For a chance to win all 4 statues, I get there's only 2 here. Don't write in. Visit our website at g4tv.com/epic giveaway and get your entry in between now and February 1st by 3 p.m. Eastern to be eligible.
We'll announce the winner right here on tomorrow's show.
Hey, many thanks to our guest, Patton Oswalt, today. Hilarity. Thanks to Anish Katesh from Global Voices Online. Thoughts and prayers with everybody behind a revolution at the moment. I know you can't hear or see that, but Godspeed, good luck. And thank you for the constant adjustments throughout today's program. Really.
It's a little too big and it keeps on falling down, so, well, that's
You
what I
said
gotta
that
do.
like it's a problem. You really did. And you're welcome for that internet gif as well. What a show. Seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. And take care. Now, do you want to have a fight with these guys? I'm Wolverine, and I'm made of adamantium, and I will hit... What did you just yell? I'm going to get you? That's the most threatening thing you can...